Live long and prosper. I can't do it without holding my fingers apart. Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we are checking out Star Trek the Motion Picture and I'm watching the Director's Edition. I chose to watch the Director's Edition for this Star Trek movie because it was only like 4 minutes longer than the other version of the movie, the theatrical version of this movie, and I just heard that it has like enhanced visual effects and enhanced score, sound design, stuff like that. So it didn't sound like anything was very different in this movie than in the other versions of this movie, but it sounded like a lot of things were improved. So I'm hoping I made the right choice. It's only 4 minutes longer and I read that a lot of the scenes, like the meaning of the sequences and stuff, are just not changed at all. So yeah, so I'm hoping I made the right choice on that. Besides the version of the movie that I'm watching, I'm really excited to get into Star Trek. I will be watching every single Star Trek movie on this channel. I'm unsure if I should watch the Chris Pine Star Trek movies just because I have seen those 3 movies before, but those are my only introductions into Star Trek. As you know, I love Star Wars. There's literally Star Wars posters right behind me, and I know that Trekkies and Star Wars fans really kind of battle each other in a way for who is the best sci-fi kind of media, I guess. And so right now I'm on the Star Wars side, but maybe these movies, these Star Trek movies, will win me over to become a Trekkie. And maybe they'll make me want to watch like some of the Star Trek shows, because there's a bunch of Star Trek shows that have come out recently as well on Paramount Plus. But yeah, I'm just really excited for it. I don't know what to expect. I don't know if I needed to have watched like that old show before watching this movie, or if I will just be able to kind of jump into it like I did with the Chris Pine movies, because I guess the Chris Pine movies were more of a reboot. But yeah, a reboot. But yeah, I am really curious about this movie, but I'm also actually really excited. And before we get into this reaction, let me do the lighting. So let me turn on the light and we decide what color it should be. Boop. Nice. Okay, so I don't really know what the lighting is going to be today, so I'm just going to go blue because they're in space, and that is my only reason for choosing blue. And if you'd like to check out more of my reactions, you can head over to my Patreon. I have uncut reactions to many of the movies I watch on YouTube, as well as early access reactions to my movies that come out 1 week early. There are also 2 exclusive Patreon movies a month that you guys on Patreon get to choose, so thank you so much if you check it out. And now, let's get back to the video. Okay, let's go see what the voyages of the USS Enterprise have for us today. I hope you enjoy my reaction to Star Trek the Motion Picture, the Director's Edition. I feel at peace right now looking at all these stars, listening to this beautiful Star Trek music. Maybe the extra 4 minutes are just this long star sequence. Star Trek! Yeah, that motion picture, let's go! Star Trek, let's do it! Jerry Goldsmith! I love me some Jerry Goldsmith. Robert Wise, he did a Sound of Music. No way. No way. I'm hoping for some really good like practical model effects in this movie, and right now we're getting them. I love the beards. Also, Klingon's like an actual language, isn't it? Like, it's people can actually speak in Klingon. That's kind of cool. What are those things? Whoa, that looks so epic. What? It's just gone. So maybe these guys aren't Klingon. I don't know what they're supposed to look like. I know they're in Star Trek Into Darkness, but I forget what they look like. Oh. You guys are about to turn into atoms in the wind. I love that sound effect. It sounds like the bomb in Star Wars Episode 2, like Boba Fett's like boom, boom. You know that bomb. You know that bomb. Or Jango Fett's, I should say. Boom, boom. Hello, Spock. Why are you here? Why does he look like he's trying to audition for Conan the Barbarian? What the heck are these things? What's the symbol of pure logic? Get up there. Get into space. Go in the Enterprise. Live long and prosper. Let's go. Is that William Shatner, but like really young? I've never seen him this young before, if that's him.
To be on that ship. Following that meeting. Report to me in 1 hour.
You'll be on that ship. Don't worry about it. They have those teleporter things. Beam me up, Scotty.
Admiral, Mr. Scott, those depart.
That's Scotty! Ah!
In interception range is the Enterprise. Ready or not, she launches in 12 hours.
That's so cool. Why is that guy just in space floating? Just going out for a little walk.
Wouldn't exactly consider myself untried. They gave her back to me, Scotty.
Ah!
I would not dare disappoint. She'll launch on time, sir. And she'll be ready.
Scott. He's the hero. Oh, there she is. There's the beauty. I got chills. The music is so like, beautiful. And that's Enterprise is one of the most beautiful ship designs I think ever. I love what the Enterprise looks like. He's looking at it with so much purpose, and I agree. How else are you gonna look at this awesome ship? Guys, so many chills. So many chills. Look at that sexy beast of a ship. Ugh. Oh, that was so epic. Jerry Goldsmith did not have to go that hard on this score. That was sexy. That was sexy.
I'll get somebody down there as soon as I can, Claire. My people are all tied up.
I bet most of these people are in the TV show. I just don't recognize them.
Where's Captain Decker?
He's in engineering, sir.
Whoa. Look at this, dual focus.
Aye, sir.
Assemble a crew on the recreation deck at 0400.
That's Chekhov? Hi, man.
Every minute of a refitting.
Ensign, the possibilities of our returning from this mission in one piece.
Who the heck is this man with the giant forehead? What the heck?
You're what?
I'm replacing you as captain of the Enterprise.
Whoa.
I don't think you're sorry. Not one damn bit.
Is this guy gonna be a secret villain?
Aye, sir.
Ooh, tensions flaring on the Enterprise already.
It's too late. They're beaming now.
Oh no.
Do you read me?
Someone's gonna come as Jello. They're forming. Oh no. Oh. That's kind of horrific.
Enterprise. What we got back didn't live long, fortunately.
Oh, it's so disturbing. Yeah, this guy's definitely gonna cause some trouble. I'm actually so curious about what that thing was and how the ships just vanished.
Friendship messages on all frequencies. No response. I have a no reading.
Because they don't want to be friends.
External view.
Oh, look at the shadow. Oh my god, that's so cool. That's cool. That's cool. Ah, run, man, run! Doesn't really like alleviate any worries that people have, does it?
She's Delton, Captain.
Whoa, was not expecting her to be bald. She looks like a mannequin at a store.
We go first, sir. Said something about first seeing how it scrambled our molecules.
Is this Spock? That is definitely not Spock.
This was your idea, wasn't it?
Bones is a thing out there.
Why is any object we don't understand always called a thing?
Oh, that's Bones? That's Bones? Of course that is.
And they probably redesigned the whole sick bay, too. I know engineers, they love to change things.
Since I've only seen the Chris Pine ones, I'm looking at the characters as the Chris Pine movie versions. And Carl Urban as Bones in those versions does an insanely good job as replicating this guy's performance as Bones.
Thrusters ahead, Mr. Sir.
Thrusters ahead! This is kinda epic. Why is that guy just doing flips for no reason? Whoa, that guy almost didn't make it. Almost crushed. Ah, that is so sexy. Goodbye, world. Hey, it's Jupiter. Hey, man. How's it going?
Facilities meet with your approval.
They do not. It's like working in a damn computer center.
Nothing is ever of approval for him.
Color rating to warp 1, sir. Warp point.
The music. I really like those effects, actually. They were really fun.
Mr. Decker.
Whoa! What the heck? What if they end up in some random part of space?
We'll continue 22.5 seconds before forward velocity slows to sublight speed.
Unidentified small object.
This is cool.
Phaser order!
Oh, what's happening right now? Wild. It's like they're all on shrooms. Hey! That looks really cool. That was actually really cool. I love the use of like the overlay of people to make them look like they're streaking out behind because they're going into the wormhole, and then also the modulated voices. Oh, it was just a really simple effects that are very effective.
The phasers were automatically cut off.
And you acted properly, of course.
It looks like you literally know nothing.
That plus your unfamiliarity with the ship's redesign, in my opinion, sir, seriously jeopardizes this mission.
I can see why he thinks that, and at the moment, it's true.
You may be right, Jim.
I like that Bones is just able to speak freely to Jim. It's just so funny to me.
That you left Delta for? Or that you didn't even say goodbye?
That's rough, buddy.
Suspect it is a courier of some kind.
Very well, Mr. Chekhov. See to it. Viewer off.
Is it Spock? I want Spock.
Anything further?
That depends on you.
Oh, Bones is the real man here. Wow. That is... Oh, I thought it was just the bottom part of the ship. I was like, that is a long, tiny ship. I was so confused.
Starfleet inactive.
Hey! Thank you.
Why, it's Mr. Spock.
He returns, the legend himself. There are so many dual focus shots in this movie.
Mr. Spock.
Well, so help me, I'm actually pleased to see you.
I wonder why, when it was on Kirk, or Jim, why it was dual focusing on the other bald forehead man in the background. I wonder why. Just because? That is so awesome.
Spock, you haven't changed a bit. Just as warm and sociable as ever. Well, isn't it lucky for you that we just happen to be heading your way? Bones, we need him.
Yeah, you do. He's Spock.
Standard light engineer. Full mag on pure.
Ooh, man.
Do you think he just put the red light on for effect? That's the thing, though.
Screens and shields.
No, Mr. Decker, that could also be misinterpreted as hostile.
Yeah, I could.
Mr. Decker.
Captain, I suspect there's an object. at the heart of that cloud.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, Spock, you know?
That measures 12 power energy. Thousands of starships couldn't generate that much.
Okay, I was gonna say, what is 12 power energy?
Why have we not replied?
Contact. How?
With the sounds?
Force fields and deflectors are full, Captain.
Oh, you guys are about to be eviscerated. I feel like it's more of like a teleportation than an evisceration. It's a different color, it's green.
Thank you.
It's kind of sick. I wish I had those powers.
Computers transmit lingua code at their frequency and rate of speed.
Commander?
Dude, Spock is good. He's a beast. Oh!
What we want.
And yet it would seem that they understood our message. They broke off the attack.
Yeah.
I sensed no emotion. Only pure logic.
Whoa, they are the pure Vulcans.
How do you define unwarranted?
You asked my opinion, sir.
Yeah, and he gave it to you. Why are you fighting this guy all the time? Just say thank you for your opinion. It looks sick though, like just the colors on the screen. I wonder if they filmed this stuff in a similar way that they filmed like the Kubrick 2001: A Space Odyssey space thing.
No vessel could generate a power field of this magnitude.
But what can? That looks really awesome. What is it? What is it? Is that a city? It's like a giant spaceship city.
Reduce magnification factor 4, Mr. Sir. We're already 2 settings below that, sir.
That just shows how big it is that the magnification is gone. It's the miniature work in this movie and like just the colors, the visuals in the background. Oh, they're so good. They're so good. There's so much work put into them. Wow. That's so beautiful. I love these slow shots just that linger on this alien spacecraft. The sense of mystery and wonder and beauty and terror is just it's just overwhelming right now because of just how the movie is shot. And the music as well. Derek Goldsmith is going ham. Wow. Oh my god, that is so sexy. I have chills again. I have chills again. The shot, the music. Ooh.
Don't interfere with it.
Absolutely, I will not interfere.
No one interfere.
Everyone has already said this. They're like taking the data from the ship. Ha! Good work, Spock. Oh, but now you made it angry. Oh no, what's happening? She's being electrocuted or taken over or something. Oh, she's gone. They took her. Why?
This is how I define unwarranted.
Really, you're coming back? That was so long ago. That was like at least half an hour ago now. Oh, it's opening up. It's opening up. It's like a giant butthole.
Might weaken it just enough for us to break free.
Break free to where, Commander?
Yeah.
Destroy us. They could have done that outside.
They still can.
Yeah.
Aperture is closing. We're trapped, sir.
It's okay. Might as well be
Reverse
trapped in
angle
here
on the view, Cap.
than somewhere else that you don't like. You know, maybe this is like a heaven.
Let's take a look.
It's just so beautiful to look at. I could stare at these miniatures and matte paintings all day.
Undoubtedly part of the vessel's inner mechanism. I suspect it may be necessary
What is it? In the sonic shower? They just wanted a shower. The alien just wanted a shower. Oh, it's her. But she now has a thing in her neck. She's like a robot.
Jim, this is a mechanism.
A probe, Captain.
She's a robot.
The third planet of the solar system directly ahead.
To find the creator.
The creator?
The creator is that which created V'ger.
Who is V'ger?
V'ger is that which seeks the creator.
Really vague there.
Decker.
Fascinating.
Interesting. Interesting that she said that, though. That she said Decker.
Suppose that beneath its programming, the real Ilea's memory patterns are duplicated with equal precision.
Ah, that could be genius.
Our captor is that probe. If we can control it, persuade it, use it.
Okay, I don't think you're going to be able to control it.
Carry on with your assignment, Mr. Decker.
This would be really hard for him. I admire his courage. Does she remember it all?
This device serves no purpose.
Oh my god, she had it for a second. She was there. There was a human being or an alien or whatever. There was a person behind the eyes for literally a second.
Is necessary before carbon units can be patterned for data storage.
That's not great. It means you're all gonna be turned into robots.
That is logical. You may proceed.
That is logical. But what she doesn't realize is that with the logic comes the illogic. Look at that. I'm basically a philosopher. Whoa. The ultimate pressure point. Wow, it looks so good. Wow. It was sarcasm. It was sarcasm.
Dr. Chapel.
It's working.
Well?
Oh, it's working.
This is a mechanism.
So what? So what if it's a mechanism? If it has human emotions and human feelings?
What is it?
V'ger does not know.
But then what's he looking for in the first place? It's gone again. It looks like it's gone again. Oh, Spock's going out a little walk. It's like the air's a little stuffy in the Enterprise, and we're just gonna take a walk.
Rate to coincide with the opening of the V'ger orifice. This should facilitate a better view of the interior.
Why does he have to call it the orifice? Why can't he just call it the hole? Why does he have to say orifice?
A thruster suit.
Spock. Yeah. Let him go.
Get a fix on his position.
He's gonna let him go. Spock always knows what he's doing, even if he doesn't actually. He always does secretly. Oh, that'd be so much fun. Spock has entered the butt. It looks like a whole planet. Or is that Earth? No, it looks like a whole planet.
I have successfully penetrated the next chamber of the alien.
Why do you have to use
interior,
penetrate?
and
Why do you
I'm
have to say
witnessing
that? Does he know he's making a sex joke?
Moons, stars, whole galaxies all stored here, recorded.
This is kind of sick.
That we are inside a living machine.
Whoa, that's actually cool. That looks like a living thing, that's for sure.
Ilea.
More like Jylea.
I must try to mind meld with it.
Whoa! That was intense. That was intense. That was intense. Okay, Jim's going in after him. Jim's going into the butt. Oh. No, he's not gonna have to go into the butt because Spock just got pooped out. Dude, Spock's seen some things now though. That was crazy. That visual where there's like all the colors and you just see his hands like come up. Woo!
Planet populated by living machines. Unbelievable technology.
Like Transformers. We're watching Transformers.
Starfleet reports forward velocity is slowed to subwarp speed. We are 3 minutes from Earth orbit.
3 minutes?
I need Spock on the bridge.
Well, you can bring the bed to the bridge. If I'm Spock, I'd be like, no, I want to sleep.
Transmitted by carrier wave signal. Radio.
Whoa, interesting.
An answer? I don't know the question.
Well,
The Creator has...
hopefully you have a good guess.
All planetary defense systems have just gone inoperative.
That's not good. That is not good.
Sir, Starfleet computes the devices are proceeding toward equidistant positions.
Are they gonna teleport the Earth? Well, they're splitting like cells.
The carbon unit infestation is to be removed from the Creator's planet.
Why?
That's not the Creator's planet.
A natural function of the Creator's planet. They are living things.
They are not true life forms.
Why?
Needing what? Spock, this child is about to wipe out every living thing.
One powerful child.
But like so many of us, it does not know what.
Oh, he speaks facts.
Close the information.
Not until Vija withdraws the devices orbiting the third planet.
She looks so scared.
Why has the Creator not responded?
No.
Her eye is so big.
Child is having a tantrum, Mr. Spock.
Good. Now send it for a timeout.
The information.
Then Vija must withdraw all the orbiting devices.
No. Yes. Yes.
Mr. Scott, be prepared to execute Starfleet Order 2005.
When's
What does that mean?
Why has the captain ordered self-destructs?
Self-destruct. I love this shot. Oh, it's so good. It's so stressful.
Mr. Spock, I think...
He's crying. Emotion.
But Vija hasn't.
What would Vija need to fulfill itself?
Emotions.
Is this all that I am? Is there...
Captain.
Oh, we're getting there. We're getting there. We're getting there.
Captain, I believe that is our destination.
Thanks, Spock.
Now provide Vija with the required information.
I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it.
I will contact you every 5 minutes.
Captain, I'd like to go along.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. That looks so epic. Ha! That looks really cool. I wonder what would happen if you fell. If you fell off of that, would you die? Would you just float forever? I wonder what would happen. Ha! That's awesome. It looks just like a satellite. It's an old Earth satellite. Maybe the Voyager? It is the Voyager. Ah!
V-O-Y-A-G.
It is the Voyager. I was wondering when the Voyager was launched into space.
This was launched more than 300 years ago.
Ah, that's so cool. I love this. I love this. This would have been super relevant as well because these would have just started to be launched, I feel like. What just happened? What the heck just happened?
Disappeared into what they used to call a black hole.
It must have emerged on the far side.
What do you call now? What do you call a black hole now?
Return that information to its creator.
Precisely, Mr.
Oh, you know what? Earth is the creator then.
It became a living thing.
I like this. I like this twist. It's really awesome.
We are the creator.
Oh!
Voyager's transmitter.
Is it working? Maybe it is.
Voyager is not transmitting its data, Captain.
Why? Is it stubborn?
The Creator must...
Whoa, the red lighting. This is such a cool set. It's so colorful. But cold at the same time. Oh. Fix it, fix it.
Its knowledge has reached the limits of this universe, and it must evolve.
What's it gonna evolve into? An interdimensional being?
Our capacity to leap beyond logic.
True. The illogic. That's what I said earlier. I'm literally a philosopher.
Possible?
Let's find out.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Commander Will is gonna do it.
Decker, you don't know what that'll do to you. Yes, I do, Doctor.
It's for her, for love. Oh, what's happening? He's changing. Wow. His hair is becoming all flowy. Whoa, that's epic. Whoa. Ooh, what a good transition there. That was awesome. The Enterprise is still so sexy.
Possibly a next step in our evolution.
I wonder.
Well, it's been a long time since I delivered a baby.
Oh my god.
They're not casualties. They are... list them as missing.
I don't know. As a family member, I would like to know that I probably wouldn't be seeing my family again.
Mr. Sulu, ahead warp 1.
Warp 1, sir.
Let's go, warp 1, boys!
Out there. That-a-way.
Goodbye, goodbye. The human adventure is just the beginning. And that was my reaction to Star Trek the Motion Picture, the 1979 sci-fi fantasy, and I'm assuming the first Star Trek film after the long-running, I believe, TV series. I don't know how long the TV series was going before the movie, but I'm sure it was going at least a little bit before the movie was made. But yeah, this movie was really good. I really enjoyed this movie. I thought that the visuals in this movie were outstanding. The camera work of this movie was amazing. The score of this movie by Jerry Goldsmith, he was going ham with this just sexy, beautiful score. It was amazing, and I thought the tone of this movie was really interesting. I was talking about it in the uncut reaction during the credits, but because I'm very familiar with the J.J. Abrams, Chris Pine, like rebooted Star Trek franchise, I've seen those movies quite a few times now. It was really interesting to compare the tones of those three movies and then compare the tone of this one, the Star Trek Motion Picture, because this movie was very slowly paced. It was very, like, I guess just slow and mysterious. The tensions were always lingering in the background, but there was almost no action in this movie, if not any action. There were like 2 or 3 moments of action in this movie tops. And when you compare that to the J.J. Abrams versions of Star Trek, which are way more action heavy, and yes, there is still the mystery about it, but I think the J.J. Abrams movies are still, they were like missing something. Like, I like them for what they are. They are like these really fun action Star Trek films, you know, with some really cool ship designs, and the scores in those movies by Michael Giacchino are just amazing and stuff like that. But in this movie, the sense of adventure and the sense of mystery were scaled up so much compared to those other 3 movies, you know, and I think that's just because of the camera work and how everything just lingers and how the story just plays out, how it's just a slow mystery and that's being revealed to us, and the camera is never afraid to just look at something and just slowly move over it, to just give you the sense of like awe and again mystery being the key word of this review, I guess. But yeah, those are some, like, tonally this movie is so different than the 3 other Star Trek movies that I'm used to, and so it took me a hot minute to get into this movie in terms of the tone of it, because I thought that this movie was going to be a way more action heavy film, and I was like, okay, maybe, and then as the movie started, I was like, okay, maybe it's not gonna be like that. And then I had to slowly like get myself like, okay, this is literally like the opposite tone of the J.J. Abrams films in terms of like, this is just a slow adventure mystery that is just unfolding in front of our eyes instead of a lot of heavy action and stuff like that. And so I really enjoyed the tone of this one and how different it was than those 3 other films. Not saying that one is better than the other. I was just very surprised, but also very happy with how different the tone was in this movie. I'm gonna get into the reviews of this movie, and then I'm going to talk about the amazing score by Jerry Goldsmith, and then I'm going to get into the camera work and just like the models and just the sets and stuff in this film, because I think it would be a shame to not talk about the modeling and the work put into the modeling for this film, because some of the models and ship designs and sets and stuff were off the charts amazing. So getting to the reviews of this movie, and I'm actually really surprised by how bad the reviews are for this movie. 6.4 out of 10 on IMDb and 48% on Rotten Tomatoes. That means less than half of the people on Rotten Tomatoes, than half of the critics on Rotten Tomatoes gave this a positive score. Why? How? Why? I don't understand why. Like, I don't think this is the greatest movie of all time by any means, but it was a good movie. You know, the ships were amazing, the score was amazing. I thought the story, it was very slow, but I still found it very intriguing at the same time. I didn't mind the slow pace of it. I think some of the characters were definitely like hacked aside and stuff, like the Commander Will, I believe was his name. Yeah, I think Commander Will was kind of cast aside. Like, he was a big part of the first half of the movie, and then it just felt like he did nothing the second half of the movie, and then obviously he became like the robot human hybrid thing at the end of the film. But it didn't really, that moment didn't feel as earned as maybe as it should have been. Like, maybe the script should have spent a little bit more time on Will. I didn't feel like this huge connection with him. I didn't really feel this huge connection between him and the bald girl as well, you know? So like, I think he was almost forgotten about, and I think that is a flaw in the script. But 48% and 6.4 out of 10, 64, are you, like, that just seems way too low for me. The score of this movie alone brings this movie up over a 6.4 out of 10. The score of this movie was so beautiful. And again, I always thought that the score of the 3 other Star Trek movies that I've seen was like the actual score of Star Trek, you know, like a da 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 da. You know that. If you've seen the new Star Trek, the 3 new Star Trek movies, you know the score that I'm talking about. I thought that was the Star Trek theme song. So when the score started for this, I was like, this isn't the Star Trek theme song. But then I was like, wait, this is the original movie, so this is the original Star Trek theme song. It kind of threw me for a loop a little bit, but it was really great hearing all of these old tunes that are probably very iconic for so many people who watched this as a kid and maybe are most likely still watching this now. But yeah, the score was so beautiful. It was adventurous. It was mysterious. But I thought it was beautiful. To compare it to Jurassic Park, I just did this in another movie reaction. When I reacted to The Mist, I compared some of the music to Jurassic Park and how it made me feel. And it's the same here, because Jurassic Park is the movie where, like, you see the dinosaurs, there's like bronchosaurs walking by, or broncosauruses, or however you say their names, walking by, and the score swells and they stand out of the jeeps and they're like, wow, and stuff like that. You know that sequence. It was the same when they saw the USS Enterprise for the first time in this film. I'm assuming you see it in the TV show. I'm assuming that the main ship in the TV show is the USS Enterprise, but I can just imagine seeing it on the big screen for the first time with this beautiful score playing. And it reminded me of that moment in Jurassic Park, you know, where the people are just looking at the dinosaurs, and this Captain Kirk was just looking at the USS Enterprise in such awe and amazement, and it made me feel like that exact same awe and amazement and the beauty, and the score was really replicating that. And the score, in a way, was the one that was kind of propelling those emotions to their forefront, and I thought the score in that moment alone was amazing. But the score throughout the entire movie was great. Again, it brought a lot of tension to sequences. It brought a lot of beauty and mystery. It it just was like all around like a very encompassing score, which I liked, and the sound design in this movie as well. I know this was the director's edition, and I know that new sounds and stuff were added and created for the director's edition, as well as other visuals, and I'll get into visuals later, but I don't know how different they are from the normal theatrical version to the director's edition, but because I watched the director's edition, I'm going to be talking obviously about the director's edition stuff, and the sound designs in this version of the movie were so good. It reminded me of Jango Fett's bomb, like the Voyager or V'ger. It's such a good funny little twist, but I really like that twist. But V'ger's like weird like metallic like boom sounds reminded me of Jango Fett's bomb, where it goes like boom, boom, you know what I mean? You know that bomb. It reminded me of those sound effects, and I love that sound effect. So whenever those sounds played in my ears, I was like, ooh, this is music to my ears right now. But yeah, the sound effects were really good in this movie, and they just felt like they should have been part of this film. The visuals in this movie were so good. They were actually, some of the visuals were actually visuals to die for. Like, I'm sure that a lot of it was matte paintings in the background, but some of those matte paintings were so detailed, they're just so cool, and they match the environments like very, very perfectly. They're just beautiful shots that we just lingered on for so long. And I think one of my favorite shots actually only lasts about 2 seconds. I have like a bunch of favorite shots in this movie, but one of my favorite shots is when Spock has entered the butthole, and he's like at the end, and he's like, oh, that's the bald girl, and I forget her name. And then there's like this behind shot of him, and you see like half of his body and his hands up, and then there's like this red, orange, blue light in front of him. Something about that shot, it kind of gave me 2001 Space Odyssey vibes, but it was gorgeous. It was drop dead gorgeous. And there are many shots like that, these expansive shots of, for example, the USS Enterprise as it turns around and you see the massive thing, like the massive super giant whatever spaceship inside the ball. You know, you see it like on the left side of the screen, and then the little USS Enterprise turning around, and it's like this beautiful like black to like blue fade in the background, as well as the color scheme. And it's so many gorgeous shots in this movie, and I think some of the reasons why the shots are so gorgeous is because the camera work. And now moving into the camera work, good segue there, Oliver. The camera work in this movie lingered on everything. It lasted way longer than camera work would usually last on things. You know, sometimes you would just be going over the ship of like this big supercomputer Voyager thing, and you'd be going over the ship, and you would be doing it for about 20 seconds, and it would just be this super slow zoom, and the music would be all like eerie and mysterious, and those weird sound effects would be going off left right in your ears, and it would just be like this slow pan over the ship that they were going over. And then there's these wide shots that stayed, and you would just see the Enterprise turning around slowly, and there's the big hulking behemoth ship right there. It just brought a huge sense of scale, a huge sense of mystery, because the camera work it just lingered, and it allowed you to take in every aspect instead of just going, oh, that's cool. You really just sat there, and eventually after seconds and after seconds and after seconds of just sitting there and looking at it, you'd start to almost feel like you were moving with the scene, you know, like you were moving in the sequence itself, and you were almost being encompassed by these amazing visuals and these sounds instead of just looking at it as an audience member on the screen. And that's what I really enjoyed about like the lingering camera work in this film. Also, as speaking of the camera work, there were a lot of dual focus shots in this movie, which some of them worked, some of them didn't work. Most of them did work, and most of them were really good and very well done. There is one really jarring one though, where Kirk was in the foreground, and that guy with the huge forehead that only had like one line in the movie was in the background, and for some reason they decided to do the dual focus shot on both of these characters, even though the guy with the huge forehead literally had no importance to the story whatsoever. They still decided to have him in focus in the background, and it was just like, it was a weird choice because he was such a like weird, strange character to have in the background, like such an unimportant character. Maybe he was important in the show, but in this movie he wasn't, so I don't really care about him. And then the just like the merge of the two shots together wasn't really well done. It just was like a very jarring shot, and they cut back to it like 3 or 4 times, and I think that was definitely the worst of the dual focus shots in this movie. But for the majority of them, they were really good, and I really liked the use of them because there were so many characters in this movie, and you got to see all of the characters different emotions, except for Spock, who didn't really have any emotions, but all the characters different emotions at the same time. And so I thought for the most part the dual focus was done really well. It was just that one shot in particular where I was like, that was very strange. And don't let me forget about the models. The models in this movie were so good. And something that I've noticed about Star Trek comparing it to Star Wars is that Star Trek is very clean and Star Wars is very dirty. That doesn't mean that Star Wars can have clean things, that can't have clean things, and that Star Trek can't have dirty things. I mean, if you look at the Empire, for instance, in Star Wars, that is very, very clean, but Star Wars is more of like a dystopian world and Star Trek is more of like a utopian world. And so even though you can mix and match like the dirty and the clean between the two different kind of styles of these sci-fi genres, the actual designs of the ships and the designs of the locations will still look completely different, even though there are similarities between the two. And I find that really fascinating. And so like all of this Star Trek stuff, it probably wouldn't really correlate to Star Wars stuff, and vice versa. Star Wars ships and Star Wars sets wouldn't really correlate to a Star Trek kind of movie or a Star Trek TV show or just Star Trek media in general. So I really enjoyed the ships. That didn't really go anywhere. That was just a little point that I had to make. But back to the original point, I really enjoyed the ship designs in this movie. The Enterprise was sexy. The modeling of that was sexy. All of the ships in this movie, I'm pretty sure they were models and then put onto like some form of blue screen or something like that. And they were really cool to look at, very creative and very clean, but still with like a little bit of like that human grime on some of the smaller ships as well. Obviously the Enterprise was like pristine because she was new, but some of the smaller ships still had like some little grime on them, which I really appreciated, but they still looked like very clean with very clean angles and stuff like that. It was very, very Star Trek in my opinion, even though I'm not super versed in Star Trek. It's still like, to me, if I had seen the ships, I would have gone, oh, that's probably Star Trek. And then just the sets as well. The sets in this movie were amazing. Some very colorful sets that mixed with like this computer digital clean Star Trek look, and they were just amazing, especially the final set piece with the Voyager in the middle and like the colors going up the walls and stuff like that. It was just a really visually entertaining set to look at, and it provided a lot of cool details in the lighting and stuff like that, as well as just very interesting details in the surroundings. And so I just enjoyed that set quite a bit. Okay, getting into the cast now, I'm just going to talk about William Shatner, Leonard Nimoy. You know what? I think that's all I'm going to talk about. I think I'm only going to talk about those two. Everyone else in this movie did a fantastic job. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think everyone else in this movie has enough screen time for me to really talk in a little bit more detail about the character. Like Bones, for instance, he's really funny in this movie, but kind of just there to be funny and to spout some things at Jim because he's not afraid of talking to the people who are higher up in rank with him. And yes, he does do like Bones, for instance, just say like give some good advice to Jim. But I still don't think like him and like a lot of the other characters like Scotty and everyone in the thing like Sulu and Chekhov and stuff like that. Everyone just doesn't do enough to warrant me to talk about them, but they still all did an amazing job. But Leonard Nimoy as Spock, he did a really good Nimoy as Spock. He did a really good job, but actually there is not really a but. He is just Spock. Like, obviously I've grown up with the other guy as Spock. I forget his name at the moment, but you know, the guy in those 3 other Star Trek movies, I've grown up with him as Spock. But Leonard Nimoy is in the first Star Trek movie for sure, and I think even Star Trek Into Darkness he's in. But I mean, this guy is Spock. He is Spock. When you think of Spock, even I will think of the guy from the first movies first, and then all of a sudden my brain goes, well, actually no, this guy's Spock, even though I've never even seen the movies. You know, he's just so iconically the character. He encompasses the character so well. The way that his body language is just like super stiff and straight, and also the way that he just talks, it's just he is Spock, and I have nothing really else to say. He's just perfect as the character, and I'm pretty sure he passed away recently. Yeah, he passed away in 2015, and it's very, very sad because he was probably and probably still will be forever the definitive Spock character. And last but not least is William Shatner as James Kirk. This is my first time seeing Shatner as Kirk. I knew about Shatner as Kirk because I'm pretty sure it's one of his, if not his most famous roles. And so I've always been very curious about how good he is as Captain Kirk. And I gotta say, I loved him in this movie. He was just really good. He was a little bit hot-headed, but at the same time, eventually he started to listen to people and stuff like that. I don't know, he was just kind of a cool character. That's kind of what I have to say. He was a cool character. He was very intelligent, but he did at the start at least make some rash decisions in terms of like casting other people's opinions will to the side in favor of him trying to just get the Enterprise and be the captain. But I like that he kind of developed into it and started to trust these other people, these other opinions and stuff like that. And I thought that he did a really good job as James Kirk. So yeah, that is my reaction and review to Star Trek the Motion Picture. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much to these wonderful, beautiful, amazing people right here for supporting me and supporting my channel. It really does mean a lot, and I'm really excited for the next Star Trek movie, because that one is The Wrath of Khan, I believe, and I am really excited for that one because I've heard from a lot of people that that one is one of the better Star Trek movies. And I mean, if it's better than this one, then I'm really excited because I really enjoyed this one. So thank you so much for watching again, and I'll see you next time for my next movie reaction.